Howdy. There has been some sundog phenomena yesterday. Here's the one side, and if you go to the other side, you can see this. A little bit later, the sky looked like that. That's a little bit an enhanced version of it. Yeah, it looked spectacular. And yeah, cats are very interesting. Seems like a little bit twisted, but obviously she's fine with that. I went outside today, and it at first glimpse looks like really okay weather. It was very windy, but check it out. There's like blue sky above our head, and almost wherever you look, but there's clouds in the background, and you see it's raining. They're moving away, so the rain has been probably falling out of these clouds which just passed by. But there isn't any clouds anymore. Blue sky, but raining. Some days ago, there has been some strange mystery tremors caused by acoustic waves from unknown source in Denmark. Bornholm was the place, so I went to check out Bornholm a little bit more. Because also in my mountain wallpaper, I have been talking about special places. Let's just start somewhere. Maybe here. In fact, many cities and villages are built near or on the site of either special geological occurrences such as metals or stone, and maybe even more important, near sites of special geothermal occurrences, or basically near water in general. The same principle applies, at least to some degree, to the locality of sacred places, which are often buried by churches. They were some special natural places related to the gods, but most likely they are the result of totally natural events which shape the landscape. So this also includes many castles, because I have been talking about this. If you think about that, building a castle on top of a hill, and there is a war, and you sit in your castle, and you're one day you wake up in the morning, and after you had breakfast, and then you just notice, oh yeah, we are surrounded by enemies. So it's no way that you just say to them that, yeah, I need to get some water from down the valley because we need water up here. Yeah, okay, just go and then go back and we continue. No, you have to be able to provide probably the people which are with you with water at least. Maybe some food would be cool. So, water is very important in many ways. And here we have the Dragon Castle. Just as an example from Germany. But now let's go to Bornholm. Lilleborg, Lilleborg. Historical landmark in Ronne, Denmark. This is the island Bornholm. When looking at Bornholm on the bathymetric map, you will notice that there is this kind of a peak, and there are some other elevated areas on this island. And of course, Lilleborg, the historical landmark, is on top of one of those, probably the highest there is. So now let's go to check out Lilleborg. Watch a few pictures. There is water. It's in the middle of the island, but there is water. quite a lot of water. There's like even bridges, you know? And we are on an island in the Baltic Sea. Let's go just quickly through these few pictures. So there's an island in a lake on an island, which has a castle called Lilleborg. Now let's go to Wikipedia. Lilleborg, Bornholm. Lilleborg is a ruined castle in the Almindingen forest, in the center of the Danish island of Bornholm. It is situated close to the main road from Ronne to Svaneke of the Danish fortresses built in the 12th century. Yeah, back then they were building one castle a day. Lilleborg most closely resembles those of Saxon architectural style. They had influences from the south. History. The castle was probably built in the middle of the 12th century as a royal fortress. It appears to have replaced the much larger fortress of Gamleborg. Much larger. Which was only 700 meters away. The move could be explained by the fact that in 1149 3/4 of Bornholm had been surrendered to Eskil, Archbishop of Lund. As a result, King Svein III wanted to establish his own seat of power on the remaining fourth of the island. While it could not be compared to the Archbishop's Hammershus, we have probably to assume that it's the Hammer House. And if we go a little bit further, we are in the North Swedes, Norway, Vikings, Thor with a hammer, Thor's hammer. So we are basically we don't have to make very big turns in order to get to the electric universe, the thunderbolts of the gods, Hammershus. But anyway, we try to stay at the topic. Lilleborg was nevertheless a fine stronghold and appears to have been easier to defend than the much larger Gamleborg. There is evidence suggesting the fortress burned down in 1259 when Prince Jaromar of Rügen stormed and destroyed the king's stronghold on Bornholm. However, coins minted after the date have been found indicating it was inhabited after its storming. Grounds. Now that's the interesting thing, I think. It was built on top of a rocky hill, 16 meters high, and at the same time completely surrounded by the Borreså Lake. Yeah, a rocky hill with a lake. Mountain water. It was accessed via a wooden bridge on the south side of the hill which led to the steep path up to the fortress. Positioned away from the coast, as hill forts might be, Lilleborg was characterized as being suitable as a hiding place during sudden attacks, but not efficient for protecting the coastline. Maribor Lake. There has been this one very interesting thing. Let's see where it has been, because it was the reason why I made this video. Now I can't find it anymore. Yeah, now I think where it is. Hammershus. We just talked about that. Let's go to check this out. Hammershus is a medieval era fortification at Hammeren On the northern tip of the Danish island of Bornholm, the fortress was partially demolished around 1750 and is now a ruin. It was partially restored around 1900. Hammershus was Scandinavia's largest medieval fortification and is one of the largest medieval fortifications in Northern Europe. It is situated in the Baltic Sea 74 meters above sea level. The fortification was erected in the 13th century and consists of the base castle, residence, and features a grand tower called the Mantle Tower. Hammershus fortress features a 750-meter-long perimeter wall around the castle grounds. During a number of successive struggles between the kings of Denmark versus the Archbishopric, the fortress served as a refuge for the archbishops, including Bishop Jens Grand. It was conquered by the king's army on a number of occasions. It was taken by King Christian II, who used it to imprison Bishop Jens Andersen Beldnack of Funen. The fortress was conquered by forces of Lübeck at the same year. In 1658, Hammershus was occupied by Swedish forces, but a rebellion on the island terminated the Swedish rule. The rebels, led by Jens Petersen Goffet, shot the Swedish commandant Johan Prinsenskjöld, and the Danish peasants traveled to Copenhagen to return the island to the King of Denmark. Corfitz Ulfeldt and his wife Leonora Christina were imprisoned in Hammershus from 1661 in 17. Anyway, description. Visitors to Hammershus have views of the coastline and the sea surrounding Bornholm. South of the castle is a deep valley, water-filled hollows, and dense forest. There are a number of points before arriving at castle where enemies could be stopped. The castle was built with box-like rooms surrounded by rings of fortifications. Each provided an additional layer of protection from invaders. 2 natural spring ponds provided fresh drinking water on the inside of the castle. Let me put a very straight line under this. 2 natural spring ponds provided fresh drinking water on the side of the castle. There you have it. And I'm pretty sure these kind of examples, if they just would know how to look and where to look and if there's any record and so on, I think you would find similar things in almost every castle. Every church which has been built back in the days. Modern churches not so, because they just use the water which comes out of the pipe. Back in the days there wasn't any pipes, so you had to build the stuff where the water is. But anyway, I think I'll leave it here. Got still stuff to do, and thank you. Bye.